Wendy Williams was spotted for the first time in over a year shopping at a holistic store in New Jersey.
So were you back on in September? Yes, no,
yes.
Yes, back on in September. Yes.
It may just happen that Wendy Williams is gearing up for a big return, and word's on the street that her comeback starts with a big public revenge on her ex Kevin Hunter and his baby mama. The queen of gossip has recently been spotted in public looking all kinds of fabulous. But if you've been following her sad story in the past few years, you must know that Wendy's been through some serious drama. It all kicked off when her ex-husband, the already infamous Kevin Hunter, and his more than shameless and greedy chick Sharina Hudson were out there flaunting their messy affair. And it seems like Miss Williams is back to say her last word in this drama.
Shame on me, because it's happened once.
Won't happen again.
Ever.
It's been a cruel period for Wendy recently because she suddenly got slapped with a dementia diagnosis and got put under a financial conservatorship. After that, she basically disappeared from the scene, leaving her fans worried sick. Social media was buzzing with folks concerned about her physical and mental well-being, and they had a good reason for it. Wendy was announced to be one step away from leaving this world. After all these months of being one step away from the hellish outcome, it's kind of nice seeing Wendy back and looking good. It means that all those gloomy reports about her health were merely exaggerating, but they've got us all scared. Just earlier this year, it was announced that Wendy was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotomy progressive aphasia and frontal dementia, with her rep stating Wendy is still able to do many things for herself. Most importantly, she maintains her trademark sense of humor and is receiving the care she requires to make sure she is protected and that her needs are addressed. But in fact, these conditions have been messing with her ability to talk, think, and act right, which led the court to step in and put her under a conservatorship. They figured she couldn't handle her finances, so they brought in a guardian, Sharina Hudson. But this lady turned out to be another snake poisoning Wendy's life. The rumors started flying because some of Wendy's family claimed Sharina was keeping Wendy away from her relatives and blocking the closest family members from visiting her.
And everyone's questioning why she doesn't have a family member in charge.
Sure, keeping Wendy away from her family doesn't look great, but that doesn't automatically mean Sabrina's up to no good. Later, Wendy's sister, Wanda Finney, also threw some shade, saying the last time the family saw Wendy was back in 2021 when she was in Florida. She mentioned that there were a lot of people involved in Wendy's care back then, from doctors to her professional team, somehow excluding family members from all this story. Later, Wendy's niece, Alex Finney, also chimed in, spilling some more tea on how far Wendy's guardian went to keep her away from the family. Alex painted a pretty intense picture of how Sharina was blocking any contact with Wendy's loved ones.
What I will say in terms of things that I have seen over the last 2 years, yes, there were definitely people around her that you do question. Why are you here?
The situation got rather nasty when Wendy's friend, Regina Shell, got caught up in the mess. In a recent interview, Regina voiced her worries, saying the whole situation is like Britney Spears' conservatorship drama, but worse because, at least with Britney, it was her family in control. Wendy's being handled by someone who's not even family, and Regina's wondering how Sharina got so much power over Wendy's life. Here's what she said when I was in New York, staying with Wendy in the summer. I noticed she had no access to her money, so every time she had to do anything she had to pay for, you had to go through the guardian. Her publicist, also who lives out in LA, both of us were going back and forth, sending food to Wendy because she wasn't having access to food. So that Sharina lady got Wendy practically starving, which could aggravate her frail condition even more. Regina had to step in and send food all the way from Los Angeles to New York just to make sure Wendy got something to eat because she didn't have access to money without going through Sharina.
All I want to know is, where is my money? This is not right.
The whole thing just feels shady. And it got even worse when Wendy basically vanished from the public eye, leaving her fans super worried. But here's the twist no one expected. Wendy's been using her time away from the spotlight to get herself together. She was recently seen out with her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., and they looked like they were catching up and having a good time. Wendy was spotted at a holistic wellness store in New Jersey, taking pictures with the store owner and looking better than anyone expected. She's got her glow back, no doubt about it. The store owner even spilled to TMZ that Wendy was in great spirits. To quote the guy, sharp, upbeat, and aware. TMZ also reported that Wendy was looking for products to help with brain fog, mental clarity, stress, and circulation. It looks like Wendy's slowly but surely making her way back, and it's a huge relief to see her stepping out again. The mess of her life was rather dangerous, and at some point, even her hardcore fans were losing hope to ever see their favorite TV star again. But whoever was doubting Wendy's comeback surely underestimated this woman.
And I'm a very plotative individual. I will plot on you. That's right.
Probably, the desire to get revenge gave her strength to endure the hurdles of life. And yes, she's been through the toughest days in the past few months, but her will and resistance just showed who was the strongest queen on TV and beyond. Of course, The news of her rise and shine made fans fill the social media with hopeful comments. As one person wrote, "Wendy is a fighter, and that's what she's doing, glad to see it. Hope Kelvin and his lapdog get what they deserve." And another user added, "I wish Wendy nothing but the best. Kevin and his mistress are lowlives." And yes, folks, with Wendy coming back to shine, there are rumors that the two of the most poisonous serpents in her life, her ex Kevin Hunter and his baby mama Sharina Hudson, are gonna show up as well. Word on the street is that Sharina have long kicked Kevin to the curb and moved back in with her mom. Maybe it's where she'll learn a bit or two about handling her finances right.
First of all, I'm not feeling sorry for you. I'm looking like, oh well, sell that Gucci bag.
But since the start of their forbidden love, there was speculation that Sharina was only with Kevin for the dough, and just to precise, it was Wendy's money these two were spending. Even after Wendy and Kevin split, she was still cutting him alimony checks for Sharina's new bags and businesses. But as you know, that gravy train stopped last year. But you know Kevin, he was trying to beg the judge reconsider so many times. Apparently, the man has been struggling financially ever since because he was even forced to downsize and sell his lavish mansion he was residing in with Sharina. And when even this wasn't enough to saturate her appetite in luxury, those breakup rumors started making rounds. People started putting two and two together, saying the money drying up is what really drove them apart. Since then, Sharina's locked down her Instagram and Kevin scrubbed his account clean. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to bounce back when they finally decide to show their faces again, begging for more checks.
If you ask me, oh, Wendy, I need, $5,000, my rent is backed up and I'm about to be thrown out.
But as many folks are saying, Wendy is their only chance to keep the same level of luxury lifestyle they've been living. They only got to live off her alimony payments for 3 years before he lost his $1 million home in Florida and drained his credit card. Let me not remind that this all may be karma's doing, but it seems like Wendy is about to dig an even deeper hole for these two. Since Kevin and Sharina's pregnancy bomb explode, Wendy's been pretty vocal about their squandering. But it gets worse than just public shame. Sharina's in more trouble with law. After getting sued by TJ Maxx ex, she's now facing none the other Wendy Williams in court. Wendy's accusing this girl of using her money, funneled through Kevin, to buy properties. And the court is backing Wendy up, saying these claims check out. The court's digging deep into how much Kevin was involved and what properties Sharina snatched up with Wendy's cash.
He was tricking up money. She's in the passenger seat of my Rolls-Royce Ferrari. And, really?
This situation is spiraling out of control fast, with the court digging deeper into how Kevin and Sharina misused Wendy's money. This isn't the first time Kevin's been in hot water. This man got sued before for running up his credit cards and owing thousands to banks. Earlier this year, the bank sued Hunter for what he owes them. However, he ignored their suit. This resulted in a judge recently granting UBS request for a default judgment. He's now been ordered to pay them $20,000. This amount will only increase with interest the longer Hunter waits to pay it off. What used to be pocket change for them is now leading to lawsuits left and right. It's clear that Sharina and Kevin are in a tough spot, and word is that Wendy's just chilling in Florida while they scramble to stay afloat. Wendy sees it as karma coming back around for what they did to her and thinks they deserve every bit of this mess.
Kevin's problem is that Kevin ended up getting with this girl.
But it's shocking how Sharina could be that financially reckless and didn't see the consequences of her actions coming. All this chaos really kicked off back in 2019 when Wendy filed for divorce from Kevin. See, Kevin was fooling around with Sharina while still married to Wendy, and it wasn't just an affair. He had a whole baby with her. The TV star herself delivered the big news to the world, saying Kevin had a major indiscretion that he will have to deal with for the rest of his life. An indiscretion that I will not deal with. I'm a very forgiving person, but there's one thing that I could never be a part of, and that one thing that I could never be a part of, and that one thing happened. Kevin has a daughter. As Wendy confessed, she knew he was messing around, but the final straw was finding out about the secret baby he was hiding from her. She didn't just leave him. She also fired him as her manager. In her words, she made him divorced and unemployed all in one day and found great satisfaction in humiliating him in many ways.
When I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired.
Wendy's known about Kevin's cheating for almost the entire 15 years they were married. The first time she found out was when she was pregnant with their son, and he's himself a grown-up man now. But it's only with the baby on the side when the things started to go downhill for Wendy. While the divorce was still in process, Wendy got slapped with an order to pay Kevin alimony, which became his main, or should I rather say only, source of income. Remember that man lamenting about having no cash to pay the bills? My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. Maybe this man should have been saving money instead of living large with Sharina. And as for this girl, she was trying her hand at all kinds of businesses, and every single one of them flopped big time. Kevin even paid for her to go to massage therapy school, set her up with a kiosk in a North Carolina mall, and funded a jewelry and clothing line called Vish. And guess what? All of this was funded by Wendy's money. Despite all their business fails, they kept living the high life on Wendy's dime without lifting a finger to invest any money wisely.
Felt like this wasn't for me, that, I was eating a different lifestyle.
If you know one thing about Wendy, you must be aware that she wasn't going to let that slide without throwing some serious shade. Well, she couldn't stop them from wasting her money, so she decided to spill some tea. Wendy straight up said that Sharina's businesses failed because she's not the brightest and has no clue how to run a business. But it was just a start. When Wendy's show got canceled, she cut off those alimony checks real quick, and you already know that sent Kevin into a panic. Without Wendy's money, he couldn't keep up that boogie lifestyle he and Sharina had gotten used to. Things got so bad that Kevin took Wendy to court, complaining that he was broke without those alimony payments. He claimed his life was falling apart because Wendy stopped paying him.
A great writer, he did a great job.
And folks, if you're thinking that Wendy has gone completely nuts in the past few months, she played everyone, starting with her greedy ex-husband and his needy baby mama. Even with the chances of her comeback with some other show, Wendy won't be paying a dime to them. She's too focused on her recovery, and as the eyewitness told the media, her comeback is surrounded with the aura of secrecy. So typical for the TV host, she talked about circulation improvement but didn't want to get into too much detail on their first meeting and plans to come back in the near future. When Wendy's back, she'll return with a bang, and I wouldn't be exaggerating if I say that many people are looking forward to this. Every now and then, the wishes of her speedy return to gossip fill the social media. As one fan wrote, "Nice to see Wendy out and about. Glad to know she's getting better." And another user added, "Anticipating Wendy's revenge. It's always nice to see evil scumbags get what's coming to them. Prayers for Wendy's recovery." And while the internet is filled with speculations and guesses of what's truly happening to Wendy, it looks like the TV diva is moving one step ahead of everyone. There's one thing you cannot deny. Wendy always a smart plan, and we're about to see her next move quite soon.
Where you can really plot on the next part of your life.
And for now, let's give her the time she needs to gather her strength. As it was recently reported, her lavish penthouse in New York City was sold out, and she moved back to Florida to stay with her son. It seems like she's looking for a break from all the drama involving Kevin and Sharina. And what can be better than a change of surrounding? Despite everything that happened to her, those who have seen her recently say she's slowly getting better, though she's still going through ups and downs. When she was in Florida, there were a number of people involved. Even beyond family, there were doctors involved, people in Wendy's professional world that were involved. She had a health team in place, nurses in place, and she had family in place. She was getting healthier. Wendy's friends and fans across the world are wishing her well as she continues her journey of recovery. And what do you think about this, guys? Is Wendy's big comeback close? And what's her plan for a big revenge? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos.